Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the Sun square or opposition Pluto in Synastry. Now, first off, the basic character, which is the Sun, can be in conflict with what the Pluto person has that strong passion and desire for. And the thing is, if Pluto, say, is in Libra, though generational, that passion desire can be connected with art, tennis, gymnastics, something with the law, could be relationships in general. Um, if the Pluto person tries to transform the Sun individual, he or she may resent it. The Sun individual may take affrontery to it, and the thing is, there can be clashes of power, control, authority, and will with this aspect, because keep in mind, Sun is connected with authority, has a connection with that. Sun is about dominance. Pluto is connected with power and control. If this is a situation where you have a supervisor, employee, it can be, it may be contentious. There may be difficulties, with the authority person, authority and the subordinate worker over, being controlled, or, power issues. The thing about this too is that if the Sun person, say, tries to dominate the Pluto person, he or she, may really resent it. And the thing is, and may also resort to the Pluto person may actually resort to vengeful tactics and behavior. The Sun person, may, focus too much, excessively on the secrets and the dark side of the Pluto person. If this is, if these people are actually, enemies or adversaries, the Sun person may try to, find out about, the secrets of the Pluto person and try to, the dark side, things that the Pluto person wanted suppressed, and bring it to light and use it to his or her detriment. The thing about the synastry aspect too is now, crisis. If these people say, are in a relationship and, really, strong relationship, like they're living together, it's a significant other, marriage partner scenario, keep in mind, Pluto is about crisis. The crisis that could exist in the Pluto person's life may upset the Sun person's life and conflict with what they want to do. And the Sun person, may oppose, what that, Pluto person, has that obsession for. If Pluto, say, is in Scorpio in the 7th house, it could simply be something like extreme sports competition of some kind. If Pluto, say, is in Scorpio in the 6th house, it may be, occult, work, which can include astrology or, some other Scorpio-related work, whether it could be working as a coroner, mortician, embalming, doing simple forensics, investigation, recycling, insurance, as some examples. And also, too, as far as the synastry aspect goes, the thing is, the Pluto person, this could be an aspect of jealousy, and you have, the Pluto person, may be jealous if the Sun person has attained more in his or her life than the Pluto person. As the Pluto person, may, become irritated and, have jealousy toward the Sun person, have animosity toward the Sun person because he or she has accomplished more during the time of their life than the Pluto person has. Now, another thing too is, I've stated this in, my previous videos, earlier videos, the ones on natal chart placements, that, never isolate any single one, astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person astrologically speaking, because the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, not just one. And the same applies for synastry aspects, because in synastry you're often going to have a plethora of aspects, and one good or bad synastry aspect certainly doesn't make or break a connection or relationship between person A and person B. And in this case, it's no exception. Now, this can be, the aspect, in terms of power and control. And there could be, negative, really, it could be clashes of power and control and will, but it could be, offset, by, some, positive ones that could exist between, these people. Now, let's say if somebody has, two people have this synastry aspect in their chart. They have the Sun square or opposite Pluto in their natal chart, but at the same time, they have, some, you could say, more, positive or auspicious aspects. Let's say if they have the Sun sextile or trine Saturn in a synastry chart, there could be more respect for each other, and as far as authority may go, and really allowing both, those two people may allow each other to have certain authority and control to some degree in the connection, and that could offset this aspect, synastry aspect, to some degree. The thing about this too, when you have when you look at this synastry aspect, Sun square or opposite Pluto, in a natal chart, the Pluto person, in terms of expressing passion or support. I mean, Pluto is connected support, whether it be moral, emotional, or monetary support. And if you have the Sun square opposite Pluto, the Pluto person may have the difficulty in receiving and giving support in connection with the Sun individual. And the Sun person may have trouble focusing on those issues with the Pluto person. Remember, the Sun is about our focus and attention. If the Pluto person, say, needs to make some major change or transformation in his or her life, and you want the Sun person to be somehow involved, but the Sun person may be away, so to speak, and not always be around for that Pluto person when that time comes. And the Pluto person needs to be careful, not to be overly controlling of the Sun individual. It's okay if you're trying to gently, try to transform a person, if he or she wants that, and for the better of that person, to be where it would be beneficial to the person, but not in a way where you're practically coercing them or trying to force them to make that change. Because if that were to happen here, the Sun person would just, in most cases, I would say, would generally reject it and not really take kindly to it, and it can cause a rift and problems in the connection. So you have to, it's really, this aspect, again, is not, by itself, it's not good. It is an adverse aspect because square and oppositions are aspect, but it doesn't mean that it's the all to end means of the connection, because as I stated before, it's also important to look at the other synastry aspects, because the two people are the sum of all of the aspects in the chart. It's important to delineate all of them when you're looking at synastry and astrology. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.